Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the career and financial energy for the sign of Aries for the month of June. Now Aries, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Aries, I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform. So do not get scammed. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on here for you, Aries. Now I am using the Gilded Tarot, the Rider Tarot, and the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below, as well as a link out to my Instagram if you'd like to give me a follow there. I'd also ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. And hitting the like button does ensure that other people who may need to see these messages have an opportunity to see these messages. So, all right, let's go ahead and see what we have going on here for you. I think that looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is really an energy of intuition. It's one of the most intuitive cards to find in the tarot, probably next to the High Priestess. You know, the Queen of Cups can ask you to potentially, obviously, trust your gut, but not only that, there's a big message of trust with the Queen of Cups, in that this can also be a person who is a trusted friend or a trusted ally, okay? The Queen of Cups will not spread lies, spread rumors, gossip in a positive situation. Like, they are in their positive in the upright, which I really only read uprights, but they will not be somebody who rocks the boat or starts drama. And so with the Queen of Cups, it's just a good reminder to keep trusted friends, keep trusted allies in your life. This can also be about potentially healing as well. I know we are looking at your career and financial situation here, Aries, but perhaps you are healing something in your career and financial life. I'll be very interested to see kind of how we break this down. So let's just get into that now. In the current situation here, in the overall situation, this middle card is important because it spills into the rest of the cards. You have this Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is really a card of perseverance. It's a card of continuing forward. This person is sort of down on one knee, they're frustrated, they're weary from the battle behind them, but they are not realizing how close they are to crossing the finish line, to accomplishing something great, to getting to the last card in the suit of Wands, which is the 10, which is a completion. And so the worst thing that you could do when you get the Nine of Wands energy is to give up. Okay, now the Nine of Wands could also be somebody in your life who's potentially annoying you a little bit. What I'm going to say here in this month, particularly if you work with, if you have teammates, if you work a 9 to 5, or you have colleagues, I would say to take a level head, take a calm, cool, and collected approach to any sort of conflict that may come in, because this can be an energy of frustration, and we do have this energy of like a sort of calm energy with the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is very emotionally intelligent, and they, much like the King of Cups, are somebody who's kind of able to master their emotions, okay? And so what I feel like saying is, if there's somebody frustrating you, which there might be, because you also have the Page of Swords next to it, I'd trust your gut on how to handle that situation, but I'd also be very careful about kind of not going off on this person, okay? I know it's a specific message, but it's definitely coming in. Now, in the past, you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Judgment card, and you have the Fool. So this Nine of Swords card here is really an energy of stress, potentially, anxiety. It is in the upper row. The upper row is the row of your thoughts. And so when you get the Nine of Swords in this upper row, it's sort of like it could be like a very stressful or a very anxious situation in your life, because it's sort of like a doubling down of the meaning. This person's in the middle of a nightmare. And the thing is, they think that these 9 swords are going to come down and hit them, but they never actually do. And so it talks about not only just stress and anxiety, but also fear casting. fearing the situation or the scenario that it hasn't even happened yet when you look at this Nine of Swords. And so something to consider here, it's possible that some of you have, it's possible that some of you have been fearful about the unknown. I think some of you are maybe a little bit afraid of the unknown here, because you have some big energies actually with the Fool and the Judgment card. By the way, you also have the World here, which sees you completing something important in your life, and I'll connect that to the Judgment card here in a second. But some of you are afraid of the unknown because the Fool is really the most powerful card to find in the tarot, because the Fool leaps forward without knowing where they're going to go yet. They know that they're going somewhere, but they're not sure where they're going yet. And the Fool really has no idea if they're going to make it after they take the leap. And so the Fool is it's the opposite of being afraid of the unknown. The Fool is the unknown, right? It is taking the step into the unknown. It is taking a step into the new world. And for some of you here, I think that there is an important message in your life around this, as it relates to your career life around this, your financial life. You have the Judgment card with it as well, which the Judgment card is, it's like, so here's the thing. You have this Nine of Wands in this sort of middle card here, which I talked about is basically you being at the finish line and almost being there, okay? Then you have the Judgment card, which is the second to last card on the Fool's journey. The Fool starts the Fool's journey to the World. Okay, so you can see the Fool, Nine of Wands, the World in a diagonal position. Diagonals in this spread are directions that you are headed. Okay, and so on one hand, we see you completing the goal. We see you going the distance here, for sure. I love that this is diagonal. But in the same, on the same kind of hand here, with this Judgment energy, it's almost like you are also sort of, there's something here that's a challenge. How do I say this? With the Nine of Swords, which by the way, the 9 is also the second to last card. 9s in tarot mean that you're almost there. And so you have 3 cards here indicating that you're almost there. And so it's like there's one thing standing in your way towards completing a major goal, completing a major task, is what I've been trying to say this entire time. Okay? And I would really encourage you to push through at this time, because you are so close. You are so close. In the current situation, you have the Empress, the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So we've talked about the Nine of Wands at length here. It's an important card, right? It's really informing this. Talking about how you are being almost there, there's something really nice developing here in this lower row. This lower row is the row of your subconscious, the way that you talk to yourself, the hidden, what you can't see. And you have the Ace of Swords, which is like a divine spark, or it's like a divine inspiration. And it's the feeling of the clouds clearing in the background. It can bring about a breakthrough in your life. We'll talk about what the Eight of Cups means as well. But the Fool, leaping forward in a new direction into the unknown. The Ace of Swords, a breakthrough. Bang, you knowing exactly where you need to go at the right time. Getting out of this fear consciousness here, this fear mode here of the Nine of Swords, getting out of that and moving forward here, and being inspired by something that maybe even feels a little bit bigger than you. The Judgment card feels bigger than you. You can see that there's an angel coming down here, ruling, passing a judgment down to you. There's something that feels bigger here for you, Aries. And not only that, but you have this Empress card. The Empress card is the most abundant card to find in the tarot. It is fertility, prosperity. It is the ability to nurture something in your career life into existence, like a mother would nurture their children. It is Venus energy. Venus is the planet of luxury, wealth, beauty, the finer things in life. And so when you get the Empress, it says that you can plant a seed and see it grow in a big way. Not in a small way, a big way. And remember, abundance is different for everybody. For you, it's like there's something here about this new path, okay? There's something here about this new path. And this may come with, in your mind, you know that there's more abundance on this new path for you as you have this Empress card. But it's a matter of taking the first step. Aries, many things in life are simple, but they're not easy. Okay, the path may be simple, but walking onto the path may not be easy. It may be hard. okay? And I feel like for some of you here, this is bigger, okay? This is like a zooming out, a big picture type of thing. In the future, you have the World, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. You have this Eight of Cups, which this lower row is amazing. So new start, powerful new start, another kind of new beginning, but a breakthrough energy. And then you have this Eight of Cups here, which this person is walking away from the cups that no longer work for them or no longer serve them, and they're walking towards a dream, which is the Nine of Cups. So we see you going in that direction. Page of Swords with the Nine of Wands. Just be careful of somebody who is maybe a little bit over opinionated. Do not try to, I would say, if you are offended by what somebody is saying, it may be a good reminder for you to just realize that that is their stuff and that is their own sort of energy, and to not take on somebody else's challenging energy. But then you have this World card, which is very important in this reading, because you have the Fool starting off the Fool's journey, the Nine of Wands, you needing to persevere, and now the World in a diagonal position, you completing the Fool's journey, completing the task, completing the hero's journey through the major arcana, completing the hero's journey here. The Fool is the hero of the tarot. And you are completing this. You are going the distance. The World also is a big reward and success after you having gotten to the top of the mountain or gotten to the top of the world here. And so what I would say is go on your hero's journey. Go on your hero's journey at this time, because you'll never know where it may lead you. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. So you have the Five of Swords. You have the Four of Cups. You have the Three of Pentacles. You have the Six of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the Justice card. Okay, so there is something with a colleague for some of you. Okay, there is somebody in your work environment or somebody that you have to interact with potentially on a day-to-day that is frustrating, okay? Because you have this Three of Pentacles, but it's not just that you have the Three of Pentacles. You can see that the people here are sort of critiquing, they're showing off their work. It's not just the Three of Pentacles, it's everything combined. It's the Nine of Wands indicating frustration. It's the Page of Swords, somebody who's maybe a little bit challenging, somebody who's a little bit, somebody who's, you've all had that colleague that just feels like they need to share their opinion on everything. And that's the Page of Swords in this case. And so just take the Queen of Cups approach and calm, cool, and collected. Recognize that that's their stuff. Okay, that's what I feel like saying about that. If you're dealing with that, which I think some of you are. Okay, so you have an obstacle here that you can hurdle over very clearly. The Five of Swords with the Nine of Swords here in the past. Defeats, losses of the past are really just opportunities to grow and learn. Okay, and I think some of you are kind of recognizing that here. Again, Nine of Wands, this full Nine of Wands World diagonal here is very important and very nice, very, very nice in a reading for you here, because you're clearly surmounting the hurdle here. You have the Six of Wands, which is another major energy of victory, especially as you have the World getting to the top of the mountain here. The Six of Wands could represent public recognition or just generally exceeding expectations. Four of Cups, don't allow discontent and boredom to kind of take you over the edge with this colleague. Okay, that's what I'm going to say there. And then the Wheel of Fortune, conditions are favorable. Your favorability is increased with the Wheel of Fortune. Perfect alignment happening. This is Jupiter energy. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and luck. We do have Jupiter in Aries here. And, the Wheel of Fortune can really, really say that your destiny has arrived. And so take advantage of the destiny here. Let's see what else we have. So you have the Gift, the Adjudication, and High Honor. I didn't talk about the Justice card, I just realized, but the Justice card really says that all parties will get the outcome that they deserve. And so if you stay in a high vibration, doesn't matter if somebody's in a low vibration, okay? It will all work out in time. And you have that especially here with adjudication. The Justice card can indicate legal situations, adjudication. You can see there's clearly a judge here. Similar energies. Just maintain your high vibration is what that means for me as the reader here. You have this gift that you really are wanting and I feel like Spirit's like, maybe you need to share this gift with the world here. Okay. And maybe that's what this completion is about. You have high honor, which means you have respect from your colleagues. You have respect for most people around you, despite maybe having to deal with a frustrating person. Most people really do look up to you and maybe even come to you for help. So, Aries, incredible reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.